Follow the instructions in this video to gather your evidence and prepare your case file. There are 4 different kinds of evidence you need to include in your case file: footprints, fingerprints, handwriting sample, and chromatography. Let's look first at how to gather footprint samples. I'm going to read the instructions for 2 different methods of gathering footprints and then demonstrate in a video. I'm going to read through the instructions on 2 different methods for gathering footprints and then demonstrate both for you. In method 1, you're going to place 2 pieces of white paper just inside your door, then go outside and step in some dirt. It's probably best if you get the soles of your shoes a little bit damp before stepping in the dirt. As you come inside, carefully step on the pieces of paper, making a footprint. Step once slowly from heel to toe onto each page. And then, before you step off the paper, take off your dirty shoes right away so you don't make a mess and track dirt inside the house. Method 2, if you don't want to go outside and step in dirt, again, start by placing 2 pages of paper on the floor. Then rub the soles of your shoes with sidewalk chalk or dust them with cocoa powder. Now, if you're using light colored chalk, you want to make sure that you put your prints on dark paper so that they'll show up. You should dampen your piece of paper with a light mist from a spray bottle. Now, this is optional, but it works a lot better if the soles of your shoes are a little damp and or if your paper is a little damp to pick up the powder better. Then carefully place your shoe on the paper to make an imprint and press evenly from heel to toe as you would when you're walking. Again, importantly, clean the soles of your shoes right away so you don't make a mess inside the house. Remember, always take a photo of your evidence for your case file right away. These footprints often look a little more vibrant and clear when they're damp than they do when they dry out. So make sure you get a good, clear and close picture immediately. We also have 2 methods for gathering fingerprints. The first method is a little more straightforward and a little more reliable. For this, print or copy out the fingerprint record page. On a piece of scrap paper, use a pencil to color a patch of graphite about 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. You want it to be big enough that you can place the entire pad of each one of your fingers and your thumb on it and get graphite on your finger. Next, you're going to place your fingers into the pencil mark one at a time. And as you go, if you need more graphite, you can add more pencil to that patch. Press each of your fingers after you've pressed it in the graphite onto a small strip of clear tape. And again, only has to be about 5 centimeters long or less, whatever is long enough to grab and cover the pad of your finger. Then carefully remove the tape from the tip of your finger and place it in the appropriate box on the fingerprint record page. Now, if you want to try dusting for fingerprints like a real detective, maybe you want to give method number 2 a go. For this, you want to rub your fingers together or maybe rub your fingertips across your forehead by your hairline, on your nose, or another area. You just want to make sure that your fingers are not super squeaky clean, so don't wash your hands first. Next, touch a clean glass with your fingers, and you're not dragging your fingers along the glass or touching it over and over again. You're just touching it as if you're picking it up to drink and then put it down again, because you want clear, non-smudged fingerprints. Then, using a very, very soft paintbrush or a makeup brush, very gently dust some cocoa powder over the spots where you touch the glass. Then carefully blow away any excess powder. Then you're going to lift the fingerprint with a small strip of clear tape and place that fingerprint on the fingerprint record page in the appropriate box. Again, remember to take a photo of your evidence for your case file right away. We have 1 method for gathering handwriting samples. For this, you're going to write a sentence called a pangram. This is a sentence that uses every letter of the alphabet at least once. It gives investigators the opportunity to see how an individual writes each letter of the alphabet. You'll start by using your standard writing. Write this sentence on a separate sheet of paper or a cue card. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Now, you're going to write the sentence again using all capital letters, and then one more time using only lowercase letters. And if your first sentence with standard writing is not cursive handwriting, give it one more go writing the sentence. And if your first sentence, when you used your standard writing, is not in cursive handwriting, give it one more go, this time in cursive handwriting. When we write with cursive, we have a lot more joins in the letters and a lot more loops, and it's just a lot more interesting to analyze, more different patterns to look at that way. So make sure you write it at least once in cursive handwriting. And again, remember to take a photo of your evidence for your case file right away. Our final evidence sample is the ink chromatography. There's one method for this, so follow along these instructions. Cut a coffee filter or paper towel into a strip that measures about 3 centimeters wide by 10 centimeters or longer. About 1 to 1.5 centimeters from the end of the paper strip, color a dot or draw a line with a black water-soluble marker. Secure the strip of paper to the inside of a glass that has about 1 centimeter of water at the bottom so that the strip of paper just barely touches the surface of the water. Wait 5 to 10 minutes and record your observations, including the brand of marker that you used. Again, remember to take a photo of your evidence for your case file right away. To make your case file, remember these steps. 1. Take a picture of each of your samples. 2. Insert the picture in the correct page in your case file. 3. Don't forget all 4 samples: fingerprints, footprints, handwriting, and ink chromatography. And last but not least, check out the exemplar to see what success looks like in this assignment. Here you can see the footprint record. We have a left footprint and a right footprint. And this student has filled in the appropriate information to describe these shoes, how long they are, what size that correlates to approximately, whether or not there's a brand logo evident, and other details like a wear pattern or any damage. For our fingerprints, we have all 10 prints, and we have details on the different kinds of patterns on each one of the 10 fingerprints. The writing sample is included with notes about the form, the lines, the arrangement, and paying special attention to crossing of letters, dotted letters, and capital letters. Finally, we have a picture of the chromatography results and the notes that we made following our chromatography experiment. And last but not least, a mugshot of our suspect with information. Now, Elvis did this work. You're going to do your own picture and your own information for your criminal profile.